Hi, I'm Emily. I'm doing my report on Beethoven's fifth piano concert, E flat major. I've actually found this on YouTube. I was just kind of scrolling down trying to find one, and I typed in new classical, and this is what came up for me. The actual title of the concert is Emperor. I couldn't really find the name of the compositions that were in the concert. There wasn't really much information that I could really pull up on it. I just kind of talked a lot about copyright things. Beethoven was a composer and a pianist, not just a composer. His full name is Ludwig van Beethoven. He was born December 16th, 1770 in Holy Roman Empire. He had two younger brothers, Caspar and Johann. He actually played his first concert at 7 years old. His father was trying to make him a child prodigy. It didn't exactly work out like that for him, though. He did find a lot of success, obviously, but he found it later on rather than earlier, like his father was hoping. He actually taught music to help support his family because his father was an alcoholic and he had a hard time. He was not very good in school. He was more into the music. He wasn't into math and all that sort of stuff. He had really struggled with it. He was more of like an average student. He really didn't stick out. He started to lose his hearing. It slowly and progressively got worse. It started and it ended within like 2 years. It was completely gone by 1819, but just because he lost his hearing, he didn't let this hold him back. He still composed. He no longer went out and did concerts, obviously. It became difficult for him. But he still composed for future people who can look back and play his work. He died on March 26th, 1827, at age 56. They don't really know the reason why he died. There was evidence of lead poisoning in his skull. Later on, they had done an autopsy on his body, but they haven't really have any solid proof to say exactly why he died. And the instruments that were in this concert were piano, the violin, the clarinet, the French horn, the drum, the trumpet, the flute, the cello, the double bass, and the bassoon. My impression of this music, it was definitely different than what I thought it was going to be. I was thinking it was going to be boring, and I just didn't care, and I was just going to be a horrible 45 minutes, and it really wasn't that bad. It was like listening to a story. It wasn't like reading a story, obviously, but you listen to it and you can hear a plot that's going on throughout the music. It was telling a story. And the beginning of the first part of it, it was really light-footed and beautiful and just a happy, and then all of a sudden it went from this beautiful darkness. Like, it was just still gorgeous sound, obviously, but it was more of a darker, suspenseful, and there was dramatic drops. It was really like a really cool story. The second part actually reminded me a lot of nature. The way the sounds were, fluttering reminded me of butterflies, and there was like a creeping. It sounded like somebody was creeping through a forest, and they had like come upon like this beautiful miracle. Like, it sounded like maybe like a foal with its mother deer, and it just a beautiful scene that somebody had stumbled upon. It was really a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Different emotions went through when I was listening to both parts of this concert. I was excited, I was happy, I was really into it, and there was like a lot of suspense, so I was kind of nervous, I had anxiety, I just wanted to know what was going on, and there was like a really relaxing part where I was so relaxed, it was amazing, and I was parts of happiness where I just felt absolutely happy. It was upbeat music, it just really got to me. And then there was danger. I felt almost in danger in some of the parts. It really put me through an emotional swirl, and there was also a part where I actually felt sad. Like I said, it was like a story, and I had gone through, and the music, it was like a section where it just sounded horribly sad, but it went up from the sadness very quickly. It came from sadness and went straight up to a really happy ending. It was amazing. I would definitely suggest this for others. It put me through an emotional roller coaster. Like I said, it was like reading a book. It was like reading a book, but not actually having to read, and there was no words involved. You didn't need words. It's like this just sounds of it just could take you through, and it was an amazing story. You go through, and there was two different sections, and it was two totally different stories. One sounded more of a dramatic something to do with people, and the second one sounded a lot like nature, fluttering and butterflies. It was amazing, and I would definitely suggest this concert to anybody else.